Daddy's dead because of you.
And now the city of Fontana is paying a massive settlement tonight after police questioned a man for 17 hours until he confessed to killing his father, who's still alive.
Daddy's dead because of you.
Hours of interrogation, police lying to a suspect in the Inland Empire until he falsely confesses to murder.
Welcome back to another episode of We the People University. Let's see. So the videos that we covered so far this week, let's run down the list. We have a chief that pointed a gun at a driver because she had an expired tag. We also had a sheriff deputy who was fired from his job because he entered into a home through the window because he just wanted to, I guess. He had no warrant. We also have a video where the police officers arrest a man from Walmart for not stealing. Yes, correct. For not stealing from Walmart. Even when they found out he was innocent and the manager confirmed that he paid for everything, guess what? They still arrested him. And finally, we had a woman held at gunpoint for stealing her own vehicle. Now, as much as we want to believe that, they just don't get worse. And I've been trying to practice my hardest not saying this is the worst video or this is the dumbest video, because I think I'm jinxing it, because the next day there's always a worse video that appears. And that's what we have today. Police question a man for 17 hours for the murder of his father, who was never killed. He's still alive. How does that even happen? Let's not say too much more. Let's jump into this video. We'll talk here in a second.
KCAL News reporter Tom Waite joins us now with what led up to this false and really hard to watch confession.
It was, Pat, and I watched many hours of this intense interrogation, and it's very eye-opening, and we'll get to it in just a second here. But the video of the interrogation is fascinating and disturbing. An innocent man spends hours being grilled by police. When it's over, he's in the throes of a full mental breakdown, and under pressure, he lies to detectives about killing his own father.
We don't think you're a monster, Thomas.
Fontana police detectives grilling Thomas Perez Jr. after Perez Jr. reported his father missing. This interrogation descends into what's being described as psychological torture after the detectives extract a false murder confession from Perez.
We just told you we found your dead dad, and you don't give a.
That detective is lying.
And for the naysayers who just can't get their mind wrapped around that, yes, police will lie to you, will lie on you, will harm you, will shoot you, will do all the things to you that they could possibly do so that they can do whatever it is that makes them feel better. For the naysayers, if this video, forget about the other, I guess, 500 or 600 videos on this channel. If this video doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. They literally tortured this man by questioning him for 17 hours. 17 hours, that's almost a full day. Now, if you guys who don't know how the questioning process goes, it's not as easy as you think. It is mentally, just wrecks your brain. It wrecks your brain. And to do this for 17 hours straight, you may say, well, I would never confess. You don't know that. So this is why we always say, don't talk to the police. Ask for your attorney. Never deal with this. Not sure why the attorney never showed up in this situation. The guy reports his dad missing. Next thing you know, he's a murder suspect and he's being questioned for 17 hours, tortured mentally and emotionally. Let's keep watching.
Perez Sr. was not dead, but in this moment, Fontana detectives don't know where he is. Perez Jr. reported him missing after they had an argument. A search warrant was served at the family home. Perez Sr.'s wallet, cell phone, and even some blood stains were discovered. A canine also alerted to the odor of possible human remains. Detectives unleash an unrelenting interrogation of Perez Jr.
You murdered your dad.
No, I did. Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
Daddy's dead because of you.
No.
Yes, not only that, but poor Morgan here.
Margot.
Sorry, Margot had to witness it.
Yep. I walked through the blood.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not only are these guys probably the worst cops to ever exist in police history, they actually think this is funny when referencing the dog had to witness the murder that they know they are lying about. That's, again, some of this stuff is really mind-blowing to levels of just unbelief. Let's keep going.
The psychological effects of hours of grilling take their toll. Detectives keep pushing. Perez spirals further. Eventually, Perez Jr. makes a false confession to killing his father. All this, and 71-year-old Perez Sr. was alive. He went to his girlfriend's home, but didn't have his cell phone. Perez Jr.'s attorney.
The worst act of deliberate cruelty that I've seen suing the police for 40 years. I've been suing the police for 40 years, and I've never seen the cops be that cruel to someone.
Steering on behalf of Perez Jr. sued Fontana and won a nearly $900,000 settlement. This all unfolded back in 2018, but the case was just finalized.
I never thought that it was easy, maybe even possible, to get a completely innocent person confess to something like that. But after I watched the video and watched the interrogation of Tom Perez, what I divined is that they could get you and I to confess to killing Abe Lincoln if they wanted to. It's unbelievable. And they're not amateurs, and they know what they're doing, and they know how to do it.
Steering says even after detectives learned Perez Sr. was alive, they did not tell Perez Jr. Instead, they had him held for mental distress.
Once they learned this, instead of telling him that because of what they did to him, they 5150 him. They place him on a civil protective custody hold, have him taken to the mental hospital, and then they tell the hospital that he's in custody and that he can't have anybody contacting him.
We reached out to Fontana Police and the city of Fontana before the end of business today for comment, but we did not hear back. So, Pat, you saw it there. Very intense stuff.
Intense and very bizarre, actually, Tom. And the big question I'm sure everybody wants to know, why did the police do it?
Yeah, and, you know, the fact that we reached out to them and they didn't respond, but the attorney, you know, telling us that they didn't actually, he believes, didn't think that, didn't know if the guy was dead or not, if Thomas Sr. or Perez Sr. was dead. But what they were trying to do is figure out what happened. And because of the evidence that was in those court documents, perhaps that's why they decided to go down that road, because there was some blood evidence found, or blood found. I don't know if there was evidence. It was blood that was found in the house, and then the dog that triggered on the odor of the possible human remains. So with all that together, the police officers or detectives then, you know, believe that this was the road they wanted to go down. But, you know, just to see him in such duress is very difficult to watch.
It is, and the fact that they want a settlement.
You, the taxpayer, ultimately had to end up paying this guy approximately about $53,000. I can't even get the number out. $53,000 per every hour that he sat there and those police officers lied to him and tortured him. $53,000 per hour. And this is, again, policing in America. And everyone just knew when the auditing movement grew that it was going to help police understand the law, and it doesn't seem to be working. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you might come across an officer who's watched a video or two. I mean, mind you, I came into this community and started learning more about things because while sitting in my patrol car, I was watching the videos, and it was like, whoa, it made me question some things. And that only happened because I was self-educating already. But for other officers, it seems to have no effect whatsoever, and it seems to be getting a lot worse before it gets better. And for this reason, you have to record the police. You have to know your rights, and you always have to be willing to fight back. I mean, what do you guys think? Drop it down in the comment section. What do you think will help this get better? Let me know. But always record the police and know your rights. With that being said, We the People University, signing off. If you're one of the viewers who reached out saying that you're not getting any of the We the People University notifications, I have a solution. By texting WTPU to 844-764-2158, I can personally notify you whenever we publish videos. Text WTPU to 844-764-2158 and you will receive a text message notification with the link every time we publish a video.